Welcome to Raising Rock Climbers Uncensored. This is your reality check-in home for uncensored and trusted advice. Today, we're going to be talking about federation fees. What is a federation? It's something like USA Climbing Team, Spain Federation, the federation of the country that you are participating in, right? Because whenever you go to the Olympics, the countries are represented, and usually the countries are the federations. That's how it works. So you have to pay fees to these federations, even if the majority of them really don't do much, but that's not the point, right? So I want to be talking a little bit about the fees today, of what it takes and how much it costs, because every country has a different system. I'm Marina, your host, mother of two aspiring rock climbers and wife to an extreme athlete. We can safely say that we have now had a chance to be part of three federations: Guatemala, the US, and we are now in Spain, and we are choosing Spain as our main one. Guatemala, first and foremost, it sucks. It is a socialized system, meaning that there's absolutely no fees. And when you get no fees, you get absolutely nothing in return, even though they say that they will give you all the stuff in return. So I'm not even going to go in that direction. However, the US and Spain are very similar. Even though the US and Spain have a different system, for instance, Spain is socialized and the US isn't, for some reason, the federations seem to work very similarly. So this will help in both ways. First and foremost, let's talk about in the US. What is the federation? What exactly is that? The USA Climbing Team. In Spain, it is the Spain Federation for Climbing and also mountaineering. It's under the same umbrella. So basically what it is, this is once your child starts to compete. This is not if you just want to hang out and go to the gym. You do not need to pay this whatsoever. This is when you want to compete and start to go on the pro level. You need to be part of a federation, right? So in the US, for us to be able to compete with our team, make sure you go and listen to the episode about joining the team and all the fees that are included in the team, because it's not the same thing. It's very different, right? So you need to understand the differences there, and you need to put that into your budget because they're both costly. So in the US, it was the USA Climbing Team. We had to become members of the USA Climbing Team or the USA Climbing, I shouldn't say team, because the team is actually where they finally take you and help pay for some of your expenditures when you are taken to the Olympics. So I didn't mean to say team, but the USA Climbing Federation, right? So you have to pay a membership, and now you are able to compete. And each competition is a separate price. You're going to have to pay a certain price to enter the competition. Usually you don't pay another fee to the USA Climbing Federation versus the actual competition. It's just one fee. But before you do, you need to become a member. Okay. So, and particularly in the US, it also depends on the age of your child, what you want to do. There's different memberships, but on average, it's about $100 for the year. And then there will be other fees, but they're pretty minimal. But now you are allowed to start competing, and each competition is a different price. So we're not going to talk about the prices of competitions because those vary a lot. This is just about that. But if you want to compete anywhere, you first need to pay for the federation. Secondly, now let's talk about the Spain one, because the Spain, even though it is a socialized country, the federation does not do much help at all. Again, it's very similar to the US. Unless you actually qualify for the Olympics, that's when they start to help you with some of your expenditures. Up to that point, you are 100% private, fully funding your child. And here it works pretty much the exact same way. We had to join the federation. We are in Spain, the Catalonia. There's different sectors. Regardless, it's still, countrywide. And the cool thing about that, we notice the difference, and I think that's the main difference with being socialized versus the US, is the health insurance, right? So when we were looking here they call them licenses, it's the same thing as the membership. when we wanted to join, which one we wanted to choose, we had quite a lot of options. One was just for Catalonia, which obviously that's not what we want. We want to do the whole Spain, but they also have Spain. They also have Spain in a couple of countries. Then they have Spain in all of Europe. And the reason why you get to choose that, it's about health coverage, right? You're still under the Spanish umbrella, but this way, for instance, if you're paying like almost 200 euros for the year, you also get fully covered insurance, which is huge, guys. It's huge. Even though we have our own insurance in the US, there has been rumors that a lot of foreign athletes get to the US, have an accident, and then they could go bankrupt because they're not properly insured. It's really that crazy. So that the fee for the federation here in Spain does include insurance, which is a very cool thing. So now we are federado, that's what it's called. We're under the federation, and the boys are now within the federation. Like I said, it really doesn't have that much to do with anything, but now we are able to compete on all of the state levels, national levels, all of that. We are now able to pay separately for the competitions, but up to that point, you cannot even join the competitions until you have paid that particular price. So make sure you guys find out exactly what the fees you have to start paying before you can start paying for the competitive side of the actual competitions. And let me know which country you guys are from. What are you paying? What are your fees and all that other good stuff? Because there's so much involved. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review, share it with your friends. And remember, the more we share, the more we can help one another.